Welcome to Review Rewind, the show where a couple of friends watch movies of old and aim to figure out if the reviewers were spot on or a little off. I'm your host, Mike.
And I'm Tristan.
And this week, we're watching Waterworld. I mean... I'm going to get it one day. I'm not. But, alrighty. Directed by Kevin Reynolds. This movie has a lot of Kevins. Watch those be the only two. Produced by Charles Gordon, John Davis, and Kevin Costner. Screenwritten by Jonathan Levine, dang it. Peter Radar. David Twohy? I would say Twohy, right?
The Twohy. Yeah.
Yeah. Universal Pictures, PG-13, sci-fi action. Release date, July 28th, 1995. So a summer blockbuster. Budget of $175 million. Oh, estimated. It grossed $88 million in America and worldwide $264 million. So technically a success, but technically not.
Yeah.
Because that's just what? A little over $100 million from the budget? No, less than. 90 million?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm doing math wrong. Kevin Costner, Dennis Hopper, Jeanne Tripplehorn, Tina Majorino, and Michael Jeter, which, again, that one, not again. I don't know why I said again. Because in my head, there's always a conversation I'm coming back to.
Yep.
And so, man, I just zoomed through that. Tristan, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
I'm an awful person.
I'm just sitting here listening to you talk. That's what I'm here for, right?
Stash is still around.
Stash is still here.
Stash is stashing. You stash the stash, huh? Well, it's good to see you, as always.
Yeah, you too. Fun fact.
Yes, sir.
Last week, we did Tombstone.
Correct.
And the movie that Kevin Costner did the year before this movie was Wyatt Earp.
Oh.
So it's an interesting
kind of.
We
got two Wild Earps in 2 weeks in a row, except not.
But not really.
Not strictly.
Yeah.
We got actor playing who played Wyatt Earp, and then actually watching someone play Wyatt Earp.
Yeah, that version had Kevin Costner as Wyatt Earp and Dennis Quaid and Todd Holiday. God. And it's a 3-hour-long movie, so I'm glad we went with Tombstone.
Does Dennis Quaid, does he have the nice Southern drawl?
I watched a trailer for it because I was curious, and it sounds like he might kind of try to do it. Man. But it's just Dennis Quaid kind of doing an accent.
It's just Dennis Quaid. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Val Kilmer's so good. Anyway, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about... That's right. We're talking about Waterworld in our segment, Recap, Rewind. Not written in the script like an idiot. Where Tristan and I give you, the audience, our own interpretation of the plot. And I will be honest, this may be a trip for everyone. This movie, man. Already getting into it. But would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
Sure, you can go first this time.
Alrighty. In a world where people didn't take climate change seriously and the ice caps melt. That is a reference to the movie the movie trailer guy. So you kids nowadays don't know this, but back in the 90s, there was one guy who his voice was movie trailers, typically action movies, but he was always there.
Yeah, there's two guys. It was that guy, and then there was the Disney voice.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah.
In a place, remember in time. Like, he had that very, like, it was like very direct, very narrator, but there was almost like a little bit of sing-song. Yeah, I remember that guy. Okay, anyway. In a world where people didn't take climate change seriously and the ice caps melt, whoa, too real, we see a film that takes Mad Max and says, what if we make it in water and boats instead of sand and cars? Boom! We have the Mariner, played by Kevin Costner, peeing into a cup so he can extract fresh water from it, and then he drinks it. 3 minutes into the film, Costner is drinking his own pee. We quickly are introduced to the futuristic water, wait for it, world. Everyone is a pirate, or crazy, or both. And there are pirates who pirate, called smokers, who, as the name states, smoke an abundant amount. After some piracy, the Mariner finds himself floating. Oh, sorry. After some piracy, the Mariner finds himself in a floating city where they were dumping a recently dead body into some split pea soup. It's never explained what it is, nor does it get a reference any point after this specific section of the film. The townspeople are weary, assuming the Mariner is a smoker spy. He is weary because people... Actually, I don't know. Maybe he's just a dick. I don't know. After being rude to a bunch of people, the Mariner finds... the Mariner is discovered to have gills and is marked as a mutant and sentenced to death. Everyone avoids him except for Gregor, played by Michael Jeter. Gregor speaks with an offensive German accent, which taught me that you can, in fact, have an offensive German accent. Actually, maybe he's from Russia. I don't know. It's just offensive, and I can't tell you where he's supposed to be from. Anyway, Gregor tries to bargain with the Mariner, but is quickly shooed away. The next day, the town and their leaders start to lower the Mariner into the split pea soup when the town is attacked by smokers who are looking for a girl with a dragon tattoo. I mean, back tattoo. In the rumble, the girl's mother, Helen, played by Jeanne Tripplehorn, offers to free him if she and the girl, played by, I forgot to write it in, Tina Majorino, she and the girl Enola can join his travels. During the chaos, we're also introduced to our antagonist, Deacon, played by the possibly also crazy in real life, Dennis Hopper. He has 2 eyes. Now keep track of that because that eye situation is going to get progressively worse. The Mariners out. I keep pluralizing it because the baseball team. I love
the Mariners. Yeah, I did that a couple of times when I was writing.
The Mariner outwits the smokers with a little help from friendly fire and defeats Deacon. But wait, Deacon is alive, but he's missing an eye. They tried to replace and fill the missing place, but they're left with a makeshift eye patch. Is that a haiku or maybe a limerick? Either way, Deacon is missing an eye and looking for revenge. We then go into a drawn-out sailing scene where we're supposed to get some character development, but we really find out that the Mariner is a whiny baby. Enola acts like a kid, and Helen like got naked real quick and then saved the day, but also ruined the boat, and then gets abused by the Mariner, and we're still supposed to believe that she has feelings for him at some point. And then the Mariner also slaps Enola. Here's what I'm going to say. If the Mariner slaps Enola one more time, I'm going to time travel to the set and kick Kevin Costner in the nuts. There's got to be child abuse. Oh, wait. They are met by another sailor who lost his mind. They trade, and the Mariner offers Helen. They go down, and we are met with a very uncomfortable scene of Helen about to get sexually assaulted when the Mariner changes his mind and is somehow the hero for this. God, this guy freaking sucks. He kills the other guy and takes some stuff, and then the Mariner fishes for sea monsters, and there's a bonding moment or something. I don't know. It's super weird. Anyway, the smokers eventually capture Enola when the Mariner and Helen go underwater to find that dry land that everyone is looking for is under them right now. Their ship is destroyed as they take Enola back to the base. While dealing with the loss of Enola and the Mariner's ship, Helen and the Mariner have sex. Feels like a really inappropriate time, but hey, gotta show the hero getting a girl, right? After the nookie is had, Mariner finds... So bothered by this. Mariner finds that some of the papers he got from the dude he killed who was about to rape Helen was also matching the writing on Enola's back. He also notices that the things Enola draws correspond with things on dry land, you know, National Geographics, different things like that. He is a believer now. He believes, and he will do everything he can to save her. After getting rescued by Gregor in his magic flying machine, they rendezvous with survivors of the first town that hated the Mariner, and well, I'll be damned, they still do. So he solos to Dinkins. These names are weird. I get it, but they're also weird. So he solos to Deacon's ship, the Exxon Valdez. Yes, that Exxon Valdez. When Enola is just pissing everyone off and committing some kind of psych warfare, we learn where they're getting the fuel for all the smokers' boats because somehow the Exxon Valdez would somehow have still been on the ocean and somehow still been loaded with fuel. Honestly, this gets a little convoluted. The Mariner blows the ship up, kills an ungodly amount of people, and is able to stop Deacon's plane before it takes off, saving Enola and defeating Deacon. They are rescued again by Gregor's magic, fantastic flying ship. Again, there's a lot of stuff happening in his little thing, his little floating blimp, and none of it makes sense. But wait, oh no, 90s trope, the bad guy survived again. Enola is stuck in the water. Mariner is flying in the thing. Deacon and two other smokers are driving their jet skis straight for Enola. What to do. Mariner takes a rope, tells Helen to tie it up, and then jumps. He freaking jumps. They play it as though it's a bungee cord, but that man either would have had his foot ripped off or his ankle shattered. The bad guys blow up and all is well. They find dry land and say goodbye. I don't know. The ending is kind of pointless. They could have ended it like as soon as they made it onto shore, and it would have felt exactly the same. The end. Or is it? No, it is. It is the end.
Or is it?
No.
Very good.
I'm going to get that one day.
At least you got that one right.
And next, the weather.
I'm glad that your recap is just about as chaotic as mine.
I think it's a reflection of the movie.
Yeah,
to be perfectly,
it's a reflection of the movie. We have a very similar when we're just writing the like. This is how crazy this movie is. We often have a very similar way. But
I also think it's just different enough.
Yeah, where you referenced the narration at the beginning of the trailer guy, and I just straight up am going to read the exact thing, just so you know.
Oh, no.
Plagiarism.
Shouldn't have sat next to you in class.
I know. it's just plagiarism for fun, though, not real plagiarism. I didn't write this. Is it plagiarism if I say that? I wrote everything after the first two sentences. Does that count?
I mean, I think this is parody, so it's all legal.
Okay, it's all legal. Okay, you ready?
Hold on. Yeah.
The future. The polar ice caps have melted, covering the earth with water. Those who survived have adapted to a new world. This is Mad Max Wave Runner. In this post-apocalyptic movie, we meet the Mariner, played by Kevin Costner. The Mariner, actually, let's just call him Kevin. Kevin lives alone at sea, trusting no one, only going... Sorry. Kevin lives alone at sea, trusting no one, only going to floating atoll settlements to trade with rare scraps of dry land he can find. And don't you dare take his limes from that tree that's way too small to grow limes, or he'll have you stranded or leave you stranded to deal with the smokers. This movie's version of Immortan Joe and his war boys. Kevin arrives at an atoll to trade, but the people don't want what he's got. That is, till they find out that, like Jack Sparrow, he's got a jar of dirt. As he trades around the settlement, he meets Helen, who runs the bar/market. And Helen has a sort of daughter named Enola, and she's got a tattoo on her back that just may be the map to the legendary Dry Land. But it's written in a language that nobody understands. Before Kevin can leave, some people beg him to impregnate some young girl to avoid inbreeding. But when he says no, probably like a sane person, they gang up on him for literally just wanting to take his things and go. In the tussle, they find out that he's a muto with gills behind his ears. Don't worry, this doesn't actually affect the actual story too much. But for being a mutant, they lock him up because he's different. And as we all know, different is bad, even if he didn't really do anything wrong. After being locked up for a night, the town decides they should drown Kevin in green goopy stuff. Just because, lost my spot. They should drown Kevin in the green goopy stuff. But just as they begin to lower his cage, the smokers attack. Witness them as they lay siege to the atoll. During the attack, the atoll's resident kooky science guy, who happens to be friends with Helen and Enola, accidentally turns on his blimp escape machine that accidentally isn't able to help the girls on before he just conveniently floats away to his own freedom on a seat that could really only fit one person. So how is he going to save them in the first place?
It felt appropriate.
Yeah. The girls spot Kevin and offer to save him if he saves them on his boat. Finally, we get to see our man in action, swimming through the water like a mermaid. Merman. Punching, fighting, and freeing his boat as the girls run to open the gate. After some more heroic stunts, they make it out of the gate, harpooning a smoker boat and turning it to shoot Immortan Joe's ship, fully fulfilling his post-apocalyptic villain trope look, a grotesque 90s makeup style, bloody missing eyeball. And it's all Kevin's fault. For the next hour, we witness Kevin, who to this point has mostly been a heroic lone wolf type, who has really done not too much wrong, be a complete Clint Eastwood and yell at kids to get off his lawn, or in this case, be grumpy at a kid for being a kid and a woman for protecting that kid. Admittedly, Kevin doesn't have a lot of people skills and was also just put in a cage for being a mutant, so I get it, but come on, man. Anyway, Kevin lies and tells Helen that it'll take he'll take them to dry land, even though he knows it doesn't exist. Jack Black shows up in an airplane for a quick action scene, which just makes Kevin so grumpy that he cuts off Helen's hair for reasons. And Enola takes another crayon. So, comedy, now they both have short hair. Kevin continues to be a jerk and trades with some crazy drifter to have sex with Ellen so that he can get some paper. But wait, his heart grew 3 times that day, and instead, he just murders the dude and takes all of his stuff. Also, at some point, Kevin gets mad, is mad at Enola and throws little Deb into the water. Turns out she can't swim. As Kevin learns to be a human, he eventually teaches Enola how to swim. He's growing, I guess. There was also a Napoleon Dynamite reference, if you didn't get it. Yeah, little Deb. The smokers know that Enola has the tattooed map on her back, so they're trying to capture her. They lay a pretty gruesome trap by killing a bunch of people at a bartering post and then setting them up and weakened at burning them to look like they are alive. But after escaping the trap, Kevin finally reveals that he's never been to dry land, and we get the in-story reveal, which would have been a lot more impactful if we didn't have the movie trailer narration at the beginning, that they live in a post-mega flood Earth, that any land is actually at the bottom of the ocean. This is the only part of the movie where the whole mutant thing actually is important, because Kevin can swim to the bottom of the ocean. That's how he gets his dirt and the relics, and also how he shows Helen the truth. While Kevin and Helen take their scuba date, the smokers catch up to them, and Kevin finally meets the villain face to face for the first time after an hour and a half of this movie.
Is it really that long?
Yes.
Oh my God.
This is a 2-hour and 12-minute movie, and the villain and the protagonist don't meet until an hour and a half. Oh, and apparently Immortan Joe's name is actually the Deacon, and he's played by Dennis Hopper, famously known for playing Bowser. 2 Bowsers in one movie.
Wah, wah, wah.
Kevin and Helen dive under the water as to not get killed, and as the boat is burned, Kevin uses his gills to help Helen breathe. Now that Enola's been kidnapped and their boat is destroyed, Helen has gone full Stockholm Syndrome, and she and Kevin make sweet, sweet love on a burned up floating remnants of his boat. Ah, romance. Looking through the remains, Kevin finds a picture that Enola drew of a tree, which means dry land must be real. Oh, and remember that kooky science guy from before? Well, he shows up on his blimp because he saw the smoke from the boat that was being burned, and takes them to a raft of the survivors from the attack from earlier in the movie. Using the paper that Kevin got from the guy that he murdered, they are able to decipher that the language on Enola's back is coordinates. Kevin gears up to go save Enola. Back with Deacon, it turns out he basically is Immortan Joe, and he's made up this whole religion to keep people under his control. He even showers in a low-budget version of the giant waterfall scene of Mad Max Fury Road, but instead of the water, it's just canned meats. They live on a giant Exxon oil tanker, and one of their religion's saints is Joseph Hazelwood. For those that don't know, that's the captain of the ship from the oil spill in 1989. Kevin sneaks aboard and drops a flare down a hole, blows up the ship, and saves Enola. Deacon has 2 or 3 fake-out deaths before finally meeting his demise in an explosive 3-way collision of jet skis. Using the coordinates on Enola's tattoo, the group make their way to find dry land. After traveling for a while, they find Jurassic Park. Na, 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 na. They find dry land, and in what should be an exciting moment, they stumble upon the skeletal remains of Enola's parents, who knew they were dying, so they tattooed their baby and set her out to sea. At least that's what's inferred, but I want to know more about how they died because dry land may not be as safe as we think. Anyway, dry land is too loud for Kevin, so he finds an old boat and leaves, and that's it. Bonus round of some more Mad Maxy things. Oil instead of gasoline is go juice, and clean water is hydro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh man. So what'd you think of the movie overall?
It's a movie.
Yeah.
Uh, I think the premise of it is really interesting. Like
Yes.
the idea of, I mean, it's kind of repetitive. It's like we've seen all these different post-apocalyptic things, but the idea of like, hey, we live on a flooded world, and if they treated it a little bit more like Planet of the Apes kind of thing, of
Yeah, when you
we just
said that, it suddenly was like, oh my gosh, that reveal would have been stunning.
yeah,
It would have been
yeah.
so good.
This whole time it's like, oh, they live on this other planet, and then all of a sudden they swim down and they're swimming through New York or whatever, and we're like, oh
Right.
my goodness. Like that would have been crazy, but they didn't do that, and so it was just kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's really like, yeah, it's Mad Max, it's all these things, but it's kind of a Western
Yeah.
on water.
Yeah.
Stranger comes to town.
Yeah.
Stranger saves the day kind of thing.
Yeah, because you have towns that are forcibly small.
Yeah.
And some towns would be overtaken by religion or whatever is the thing. Yeah, Western. That's a good comparison.
Yeah, I think if you wanted to watch a better version of this movie,
you could watch Tombstone.
You can watch Tombstone. No, I mean, yeah, but you could watch Mad Max Road Warrior plus Beyond Thunderdome, because I feel like it just takes those two stories and smashes them together. Although Beyond Thunderdome is the worst of the Mad Max movies, but we're not talking about Mad Max. No. Although the first one is pretty bad. Anyway, we're not talking about Mad Max.
We're not talking about it, though we will probably talk about it.
Maybe we should talk about it. I think the movie's extremely predictable. Like there's no, especially because they give you straight from the beginning, like, this is Earth and the things have melted. There's nothing that we have to guess in the whole movie.
I'll agree on the scope of plot. The plot is very predictable. Some of the things the characters do,
yes,
so out of right field it makes no sense.
Correct.
Yeah.
The world has potential to be interesting, but the characters are not interesting whatsoever, and everything that is somewhat interesting is super underdeveloped.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not gonna mince words. This movie sucked. This movie freaking sucked. It has a lot that could work for it. The concept of the Mariner, the concept of the world. Even Deacon has a lot. He has a lot of positive, because, like, if you have Dennis Hopper, there's a good chance you can have a really good bad guy.
Yeah.
And you weren't on it, but we did do Speed earlier. One of the episodes was Speed, and Dennis Hopper was the bad guy in that. Also missing a body part due to an explosion. And he's great. He's really, really good in that. Not because he himself is, not because, like, it's written well or whatever it is. It's just Dennis Hopper has, like, a very manic, kind of crazy vibe to him that works really, really well, especially in the 90s. And this should have worked. This should have worked. His, like, religion building, how he talks to his guys, everything like that. There's a lot of like humor, and there's it's not serious, but at the same time he's deadly serious. All of that is super good. But then when you get him into what the smokers do, why they do, none of it makes sense. Because how do they fuel? Okay, so we're going to start with what we like least about the film, and then we'll talk about what we like best. But like nothing the smokers do makes any sense. Their survivability makes no sense. Because one, they're smoking all the time. But two, they're covered in fuel. So shouldn't all of them be just catching fire constantly?
Hold on. Are you saying that you interpreted the reason why they're called smokers is because they smoke?
And that their machines create a lot of smoke.
Okay.
They've got soot
Okay.
and stuff like that. But
yes, they should catch on fire.
I also think they're called smokers because his communion of sorts is cigarettes.
Yeah.
So one, how do you have cigarettes? You can't plant tobacco.
Nope.
You have no machine. There's nowhere where there's a stock of cigarettes. And if it's, again, the Exxon Valdez, there's a lot of suspension of disbelief to say, yeah, after that tragedy happened in 1989, they never emptied it. They never did anything with it. They just left it on the water, and then it, like, rusted up. And that's all that happened. Like, nothing bad happened to it. That's insane. Like, that's crazy. But just everything about them doesn't really make a whole heck of a lot of sense. The scope. Another thing that I don't like is the scope of distance makes no sense.
Oh yeah.
Because like when we're first introduced to the Mariner, he gets duped by the lime stealer. And then there's also smokers, but they're just in jet skis. What is this range?
Yeah.
How far can they go? Is everyone just within a jet ski range? How are they out that far? This is the TIE fighter argument.
Yeah, what are TIE fighters doing out here?
Yeah, that can't fly that far.
Yeah.
That's no XL Valdez. That's no moon. Yeah, just everything about the smokers is just like none of it's doing it for me. Not a single thing really makes sense. The only thing that works is it's very 90s in how Deacon leads his goons, and the goons are very 90s. So like to display stupidity, you have really long hair that's like sticking up. Like that is reserved for all the dumb people. That's funny. Like, that's cool. That's funny. But it doesn't help the plot or do anything. It's just very 90s.
Yeah. You know, it really bothered me when they're having the conversation about how much fuel or how much go juice they have left.
Right.
And he like lights his cigarette and then flicks the lit match toward the open hole.
Right.
Expecting someone to catch it, but like he's working with a bunch of doofuses. So
right.
He could have just blown them all up right then and there.
Right.
Because he's just like, oh,
yeah, his response, like, what was it? It was like keeping you on your feet or something like that. Like basically saying like, just making sure you're ready, just making sure you're awake, you know? Yeah.
It's so dumb.
You just started on to, do you have, so I'll hold on to mine. Do you have anything else about the smokers or Deacon?
Yeah, so I think Deacon is he's in a completely different movie.
Correct. Yes,
And
absolutely.
and
That
there
is
are
a fine way to say it.
significantly conflicting tones in this movie. You have the ridiculous goofiness that's happening with the smokers.
Right.
Like they're like
3 Ninjas villains. They're like kid movie villains.
They're crazy. And then you have Kevin Costner, who's taking everything way too seriously.
Guy's a dick.
And like that whole side of it is like, okay, we're dealing with this dude who's like super grumpy and hates everything. And like there could have been an interesting conversation about the fact that he's a mutant, but like, no, we're not going to have that conversation.
Yeah.
There's awkward like themes of rape and pedophilia and like all this weird stuff. I guess trigger warning. I should do that before I say these words, but like
I'll put it in the notes, but I'll probably forget.
Sorry.
So, sorry.
I apologize. But yeah, it's just like there's all this crazy stuff happening and it's like taken really too lightly, but also the characters way too it's all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's weird.
Very.
And I think it's okay to like depict that in this post-apocalyptic world that there is like sexual abuse and like that kind of stuff because like people are crazy and evil and like all that kind of stuff. But the fact that we have like cartoony bad guys and then like it's like butting
like
heads with
really
itself.
Mature violent themes.
Yeah.
That don't really coexist with that cartooniness.
Yeah. And I think it is fair to say that because this movie is so much a wannabe Mad Max movie, like there are those things in Mad Max, but they tend to handle them better.
Yeah. And so we can also mark on that, like our comparison to Mad Max is not us comparing it, but the writer and one of the writers, Peter Rader, he wanted to write a Mad Max. So he originally wrote an initial script in 1986 that was like a Mad Max ripoff. And then just kind of like kept shelving it, kept going through these things, and then eventually got to the point where it was like, well, what if Mad Max was on a watery world instead of a desert wasteland? So these Mad Max comparisons are at fault of the writer and like the production, because that's what they were going for. They were intentionally writing something that was very similar to Mad Max, if not kind of a 1-by-1 comparison. But the production was so littered with issues that it really missed the mark on it. But did you more?
Oh, I was just gonna say this movie had the potential to like have some sort of like commentary on.
It had so much it could have. It could have talked about climate change. It could have talked about xenophobia. Could have talked about racism. It could have talked about like the issues with rape and abuse and different things. Like they could have hit all of those points and probably hit them easily and well, and they just missed.
Yeah. Okay, you've been waiting to say something.
So
go for it.
The thing that I freaking hate, there's some movies that can do it and some movies that can't, but it's when there's a future, we're in a futuristic movie and they turn very commonly used words into stupid things.
Yeah.
Go juice, hydro.
There was something else. I mean, Muto.
When they still say the Mariner.
Uh-huh.
I think this movie, one of the biggest issues is it's supposed to be in the future. it doesn't know where it is in the future. It doesn't know how long, because the science doesn't match the time that has gone in history, at least from my opinion.
Yeah.
So, like, they didn't know what rear view mirrors were. Fair, okay. But then when he went under, water, despite what people think, is pretty heinous on buildings and cars and different things like that. But when they were looking at the undersea, the cities, a lot of that was really well preserved. And so it's like, okay, it's in the future. Enough in the future that evolution has caused a man to mutate, to have gills, that much in the future, which it's not like a short amount of time. It can't be.
Yeah.
And rear view mirrors are fine. Nothing is fossilized. Nothing, like, those buildings are still there. The cars, even though they look damaged and stuff, they don't look what hundreds or thousands of years would cause to those kind of things. Like, they're not made out of amazing. We look at history. We look at things from 1,000 years ago, and if it's in the water, it's gone. There's no chance for it. So how is this working? You know, it makes no sense, and that's a flaw in the film.
Yeah, I think there was something that said that it was hundreds of years,
which then the Mariner is even crazier.
Yeah,
you know,
but it was but that was a very just kind of throwaway line that I heard in a little bit of the research I did. I didn't do a whole lot, but apparently at some point the preferred version of this movie was a 3-hour cut. And then
Zack Snyder of the 90s.
But because the Kevin Costner's previous 3-hour movie, being the Wyatt Earp movie, did not do well, they're like, okay, let's cut this down to a shorter movie because shorter movies do better in theater. So they cut it down, and then later they released it as like a mini series on TV or something. And they added back
all that stuff,
45 minutes of cut stuff. And I guess that 45 minutes dives a little bit more into the world building and the deacon and like their religion and like that kind of stuff. So there is apparently an extended cut that does exist out there that does delve into that stuff. But I don't know if adding 45 minutes to this movie is worth all of that.
Yeah. No, I don't. This movie sucked. I don't know.
It was you mentioned the Snyder cut, which is kind of funny because there was a fan after the TV release that edited together the TV release and the theatrical release, because the TV release like censored and took out some scenes. So a fan made a fan edit of all of the scenes, and then when they released the official DVD, they were like, oh yeah, we'll accept that as an official cut. And so it had all 3 versions of it, of like the theatrical cut, the TV cut, and this fan made cut.
That's smart on Universal, because they just make money off something they weren't going to make money off of.
Yeah.
Oh wow, crazy. Right. So the slang sucks. It's very 90s. I think of like, do you remember the movie Double Dragon?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. Like, it's just, we're supposed to believe this is a world which, again, it feels like they're on one coast and they're just in like 100-mile radius, because I don't know, the movie could challenge the science, but apparently the ship that that they built was able to go, where is it? I have it here somewhere. 30 knots, which is around 35 miles an hour. So even with just, you know, an immense amount of travel, it would take them forever to move any distance in a world covered in water.
Right.
So it just, none of that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, so I guess my point in saying that is like, we're supposed to believe the whole world understands these dumb, stupid terms where like people are not seeing each other. This is literally, you know, the Western Expanse all over again. Like you said, the Western theme, but like people in California, if you suddenly took away mail, letter carriers, if you took that away, how would they understand terminology? Like, there's no connecting tissue in any of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just dumb teenager slang, or it's dumb adult trying to think what a teenager would say slang, because it's like, oh, cool 90s movie, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it's interesting because like I mean, making the comparison again, but like in Mad Max, they call it guzzling, which was always kind of like a, well, why do they call it that when they obviously know what it is? But like that's a kind of an understandable, like, okay, it's been a little bit and like words change.
Right.
And so to go from gasoline to guzzling, okay, after a few generations, it just got changed. But that also only took place in Australia.
Right.
Like the point of that movie is that it's just Australia.
Right.
Where this one is like the entire world.
The entire world.
And anybody that's surviving.
Also, Go Juice just doesn't really make sense because, and I say this for me it doesn't make sense because the oil that they have in the ship is unrefined. They make a point of saying they have to refine the oil.
Uh-huh.
So there is a scientific aspect to what is occurring, but everyone is a freaking idiot.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that. It's like, who's refining it?
Yeah.
Who figured that out? Which one of you ding dongs figured that out? None of you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
Okay. Moving forward.
Also,
yeah.
Pretty much like all other movies that we've talked about, the love story in this movie is unnecessary.
Yes.
And they could have just been friends. Like,
yeah,
the Mariner could have just learned how to be more human.
Yeah. Yeah.
Learned how to like talk to people.
That the whole child softening the heart of this nomad.
Yeah.
That's all you needed. It took too long, and then when the heart does soften, that doesn't make a lick of sense.
Yeah.
There's no connective tissue. Maybe it's deleted. Jeanne Tripplehorn, very pretty lady. Completely unnecessary for her to be naked. Completely unnecessary. That one literally feels like it was like a guy writing, guy directing, and then an executive was like, look, it's going to be PG-13, but we better see a naked woman.
We could put a butt in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And side boob, you know. I was just like, as soon as it happened, I was like, what? Was I not paying attention? Why did this happen?
What's happening?
Felt so abrupt. Like, I understand what she was trying to say. Like, she was trying to offer herself as payment. I kind of get it. Maybe they could have brought that into the story more and saying, like, this in this future, this is the culture. Sadly, women have become in this place where they have to offer themselves to gain whatever it is that they could have said something. They could have brought it It
Yeah,
was just she was just naked.
They kind of brought that up in like when he was trying to leave the settlement, and they were like, "Please impregnate our
Man,
daughters,"
that
and like blah blah blah. And
that
he's like,
also caught me off guard. Real.
"Yeah, yeah," and he's like, and like, I
it's
get
like
it.
maybe
You're a
you
small
can.
settlement,
One of them
and
was
like,
just like maybe you can offer your seed or whatever it was, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah,
why? Why was that so direct?
yeah. But like again, in a world where you just live in this small city, like yeah, they're aware of inbreeding and they
Right.
don't want that.
Well,
But
also,
it's still like the fact that he leaves and he's like, no, I don't want that. And they're like, oh, like,
how dare you?
how no man who's been out at sea as long as him would say no to a woman.
Right. I also like that little, what's it called? What's the little floating town called?
The atoll.
Atoll. That atoll was super confusing because their fear is inbreeding, but I was like, they're a very diverse community. They got people from all sorts of backgrounds here, and yet somehow they're inbreeding, and I'm very confused by
Well, I mean,
the white people were
there?
The white people were inbreeding, but
How long have they been there for? You know.
Alrighty. The love, everything about it was unnecessary. Like their love scene, their oh, I think I read it wrong, but I I called it like, oh no, because I made it extreme. I originally wrote that line as their DTR, determining the relationship, because it was unnecessary. I just can't fathom that this woman who's been risking her life would. And now we have to think not just people in a traumatic, intense situation, because there is, whatever it might be that the desires, sexual desires might be heightened in traumatic, extreme experiences. But we have to put it in context of their world where they're low on water, their boat just blew up, they have no way to get to whatever it is. And so maybe you can say like, well, they both thought they were going to die. Yeah. So that's why they did it. But then at the same time, it happened. He's searching through his Legos or whatever he was looking through. And then she goes, how long was I sleeping for? So like, clearly her energy is down. Like she is dangerously low. Maybe don't do that. Maybe save your energy.
Maybe there's a better way to use our energy. Yeah.
It just, in the context, I'm like, you're pushing it. Maybe you might be able to argue, but your arguments are going to fall short to the fact of like, conserve your energy, because maybe you do get found. Maybe whatever it is, but
yeah,
you've shortened your life.
Yeah. It's like when, I don't know. It's like if they were in a capsule where they only had a limited amount of oxygen, and they were like, "Hey, let's just like run around and or I guess have sex and use all of our oxygen." Yeah,
that way.
But like,
also, speaking of oxygen, there is no way in hell that little dome had enough oxygen for what felt like an eternity.
Yeah. And it was a very long time.
Also, on top of that, they went pretty deep. They went to the point where light was not going through. There is no way that was pressurized.
Yeah. I was thinking that because, like, you can see as they're diving down, he's like repressurizing, pinching his nose to like pressurize his ears and everything. And I was like, what about her?
Right.
Like, that thing is just collapsing in on her as she's
and it has maybe like 3 square feet, 4 square feet, and you're saying there with her heavy breathing, probably she's still paddling, she's still doing everything. That is somehow enough. I can't fathom.
Yeah.
Maybe
Speaking of oxygen,
maybe there's a scuba expert who can tell us
Oh yeah, let's get them on the phone real quick.
Anyway.
Speaking of oxygen,
yes.
The fact that them diving under the water and him being like, "Oh, breathe for both of us," is the thing that makes her go, "I'm in love with this dude."
I just underwater made out
Like,
for like 15 minutes
like
straight.
they weren't kissing. It was not a romantic gesture.
No.
It was I'm the only one who can breathe underwater, so I will bring oxygen into me and put it into you.
Which that has its own science issues.
Yeah. But like her response is like, "Oh, he's kissing
Well, that
me.
was I get why you're saying that too, because like he holds onto her head and it's supposed to make it seem like it's romantic, but in reality it's like, I'm holding on to you so you don't float away.
Yeah.
It's a very practical hold.
It's
like she should have held on to his body,
and
then she wouldn't have there would have been no floating away. It would have just been stable.
It's similar to Hook, where the mermaids breathe into Peter, but it's like this weird
underwater is just an excuse to kiss.
Why are we making this weirder than it needs to be? Anyway, any other things that you?
Oh yeah, Kevin Costner, guy is awful.
He's not a good actor.
He is bad. We talked about this. I think he got acting credibility because he plays essentially himself in a bunch of movies. He was in Bull Durham, and he played like a dude, like a catcher guy who's like very masculine or whatever he believes himself to be. From his more recent work, it feels like he's going that direction of like, it's okay to be toxic masculine, whatever it is. But like, he's just playing himself. And then a bunch of movies happen where he's just playing himself. And then in the 90s, they're like, hey, I got this itch in my butt, and I think Kevin Costner needs to be in an action movie. And I say, nay. No. He does not need to be in action films because he sucks in action films. Yeah. We were talking about it before because this is not the first time that Kevin Costner and Kevin Reynolds worked together. They also worked on Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Kevin Costner freaking sucks in that movie too. He's so bad. And in this movie, he doesn't know what inflection to have. He plays stoic really well, but as soon as he starts talking, everything flies away.
Yep.
Even when he's trying to talk about like, this is my boat, blah, 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 blah. It's just like, you are a whiny little baby.
Yeah.
Stop.
He sounds like a little kid who's like somebody touched his toys, and
that's like, that's literally what he is. But they're trying to make him out to be this like tough, heroic guy, and he's just a kid. Like, he's just a child.
Yeah.
But we are supposed to believe that he's a good guy until he does that inexplicable thing where he is teaching Enola how to swim. There is nothing redeemable about him. Nothing. Yeah. Nothing whatsoever. He offers Helen as a cost or a price, offers her body, her whatever, to some lunatic, and then he changes his mind, and we're supposed to like, oh my gosh, what a hero, what a heroic guy. You could have been just as violent, and when the guy was like, can I have the girl for 45 minutes or whatever, the little girl for 45 minutes, he could have just stabbed him right there, and we would have been like,
yeah,
that guy's gross. He's disgusting. We're living in a very violent world in Waterworld. I do not condone any kind of violence. I'm a pacifist. But in the scope of this, it would have had the same effect. He still would have been looked at as like a grisly, violent kind of guy. But we would have skipped this part where he does like give her away.
Yeah.
and then he like the changing his mind doesn't do anything. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't do anything for his character. It doesn't show like humanity in him because it just like takes too long. It's too late, too slow, too everything. Like it's just not great. And Kevin Costner sucks. I
think you're right. If he responded in a like, no, I'm not gonna let you do that, and then the crazy guy like just loses it and goes
if he's
berserk.
just like, well, you have nothing else I want, so that's what I want, and I'm gonna get it.
Yeah,
and then he fights. Like, then you'd be like, okay, he held on to some kind of moral, some kind of humanity. Great, but no, that's not what happened.
Yeah, that was gross. It was gross.
And
hold on,
yeah,
can we talk about the weird sea monster moment?
What? Again, the timing makes
it came out of nowhere.
Timing makes no sense. Their timeline, because then at that point you now have another thing that has evolved that should take thousands upon thousands of years, and we've got some change of hundreds of years, and then we have sea monsters. It could have been a shark.
Yeah,
it could have been a shark, and it would have been fine, and nothing would have been weird. He could have gone fishing. He could have gone normal fishing, because the idea that, like, there's a historically, world has been around 1 million years, whatever, however many, not 1 million, but a very long time. We've gone through cycles of different things. I believe in climate change. I think it's bad. I think what we're doing is bad. But there have been points where water has been higher, where the temperatures of the earth have been very unsustainable for a lot of animals. But it would have still been sustainable for some animals.
Right.
A lot of the water animals that live deep under the water probably would have been okay, depending on their ecosystem, depending on what other things died. But like the temperature deep below wouldn't have changed that much. If anything, once the water rises, it would have gotten colder.
Yep.
But some science savvy person can prove me wrong on that. I might be talking out of my ass there, but my point being is because when they were going through the city underwater, there was no aquatic life.
Right.
That's the part I'm like, I can't.
We don't see any aquatic life except for that moment.
Yeah, which is really striking. And then at the same time, it's like, wait, hold on. Let's talk about some animal life here. For something to exist that big, is it just hunting humans? Probably not. It probably has prey that it's going after.
Eating something, yeah.
Where's the prey? Because when we see underwater, there ain't anything. There's no coral. There's no even like the ones that don't really struggle that much, depending on whatever it might be. We just don't see it.
Yeah.
And that might be a lack in creative budget, whatever it might be. Budget had a lot of problems. We said in the beginning that it was 175 million. It was established at 100, and then it bumped 35 million, and then another 35 million, and then another 5 million, and it was like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, so, I think it was before the Titanic. This was like the most expensive movie or something.
Right. Yeah, it had set the record, but
it doesn't show it.
No. Has a lot of issues, and part of my disdain for Kevin Costner in this is not just his acting, but apparently he had a hand in a lot of the creative decisions. So a lot of the things that make this movie stupid, there's a good chance it was him.
Yeah.
And that sucks. Like, that makes me hate his character even more. It probably shouldn't, but it does. Like, that's where it's at. Unless you got something else, let's get off our high horse and maybe talk about something we liked.
I think we've We've torn into this one.
We've not only stood on our high horse, but we stepped on the dead one and maybe kicked it a few times.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Enola was adorable. She was fun. I was getting very protective of her in a lot of ways because I was like, no one's really protecting this kid. Helen's trying her best, but she's out of her realm in a lot of instances. But she was really, really adorable. Every adult that touches her, like hits her, they look like they freaking hit her. And I was getting so mad. Like, they were smacking this child hard on the head. And I was just like, if I find time travel, killing Hitler? No. Going to beat these people up for slapping her? Absolutely. Tina Margiano, and like you said, she was in Napoleon Dynamite. She was actually in like a lot of stuff in the 90s. Like, I grew up watching her, essentially. She is only like 2 years older than me. So it lines up that so she was in Andre. Did you ever see that?
What's that one?
It's the movie where she's with a seal.
Oh, yeah.
So she was in that one. It's just so funny because, like, you see her face, you're like, oh, she looks familiar. And then you see Napoleon Dynamite. You're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. And then she was in Veronica Mars. She was in a bunch of little stuff for a few episodes. And then she was in Scorpion, which I heard was pretty good. Anyway, she's been in a lot of things. She looks a lot different now, but also kind of the same. I enjoyed her. Here's the thing. I enjoyed the actress who played Helen. I just hated what they did with Helen.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed her. I actually really like the action scenes. They're very 90s. They're very dated, but they're fun.
They're fun, yeah.
Jack Black, what a star. That scene annoyed me because if
everybody's being so stupid in that scene.
Yes, but here's the part that makes it, I think, the most dumb. So there's a scene where a smoker's plane flown by Jack Black spots the Mariner's boat, and there is a what's it called? A gun turret. And so the gun turret is shooting at them. Helen is able to get a harpoon that is tied and shoots the gunner. And perfect shot.
Perfect shot.
Helen's awesome. Like, that part's rad. The pilot starts to spin in a circle around the plane because he can't pull away. Kind of makes sense. So it's around the boat. And so the Mariner's all mad and trying to fix the situation. So he's going up to cut the rope. This is the part that's really annoying. So he can't cut the rope, but then Jack Black, the pilot, sees the rope and figures out, oh, I'm going to shoot it. And so when he shoots it, somehow his bullets are hitting around Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
Which the boat is in the middle, and then the plane is going through it. The pilot is directly under the wing.
Yeah. So real quick, if you're listening, I want you to draw a circle with a dot in the middle of it. The dot is the boat. The circle is where the airplane is flying around. Now imagine that you're shooting
directly in line of the circle. You're not pointed toward the middle. Directly in line of the circle.
To the thing drawing the circle.
Because for
that
Jack
bullet
Black
should be flying
behind him.
into
It should be going into the ocean, because if
Yeah.
Jack Black was trying to shoot Kevin Costner, he would shoot the wing, because the wing directly blocks him from the boat. There is no physical way that Jack Black could have shot at Kevin Costner.
Mm-hmm. Whoa, bless you.
That is how I feel about the situation. Just an uncontrollable urge to yell or sneeze. Like, it was happening, and when the bullet hit around Kevin Costner, I was like, who's shooting at him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're trying to say that the pilot's bullet is hitting. And then they would zoom out and show the plane perfectly, and then the boat in the middle, so you could see exactly where everyone is, and your immediate thought is, that can't happen.
Yeah.
How is that happening?
Like, maybe if he was shooting further down the line, again, it doesn't really make sense. The wing would have blocked it. But if he was at least aiming further out, I would have been easier to believe that it was. But he was aiming
perfectly parallel to the plane.
Yeah, it was dumb.
Anyway, that scene pissed me off. I was so mad at the end of it, because Jack Black eventually shoots himself. No, he doesn't shoot himself. He shoots the rope and frees himself, which that's fine, but it makes no sense. And I'm getting redundant. Anyway,
it's
other than that scene, the other action things,
they're fun.
They're fun. They're really fun. The Exxon Valdez is a little rough. It feels like a little cheap. That this boat has far too many people in it.
Mm-hmm.
That they had a scene where Deacon is making a speech, and they have all the people on top of the boat, and there's like tens of thousands, like thousands upon thousands. The top deck looks completely covered in people. Maybe I'm wrong, but for a rusted boat that has holes in it, that is being floated by barnacles, it almost looks like.
Yeah, and empowered by people rowing.
You know, that I will. One of the reasons I'm bringing that up in this is because the patron, or not the patron saint, but the oil guy, there's an old man who's in the oil den just measuring the oil the whole time.
Uh-huh.
He clearly is very unhappy with his life situation, and you laugh at him because he's like old, and does he have glasses? He looks cross-eyed, like
he might have glasses. Yeah, I don't remember.
They make him very disheveled, all that stuff, so you're like, oh, old guy. But when Mariner throws the flare into the oil and he goes, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
It's immediately like, that is the darkest joke this whole movie has made, but that is a solid that is the best joke in the whole movie, because you're looking at this guy who has a miserable life, and he's like, death is better. Death is better, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That I shouldn't have laughed in that scene, but it made me laugh.
It made me laugh too.
But then everyone dies except for the people on the top. And so, like, he kills like a city worth of people.
Yep. It's
which I don't know if that's necessary, because
kind of ridiculous. Yeah.
As soon as you show that Deacon is a liar, I feel like they were showing tension with the people that they don't really believe him.
That goes nowhere. Yeah.
It goes nowhere. That could have been a moment of like, hey, let's reform these people. Nah, they're all dead. They're all dead. It's fine. But I did like that joke. That old man dying was real funny. God, I never want to get quoted. That's terrible. But yeah, the action was fun. Some of the boat stuff. Here's what I'll say. It was good in that. Have you ever seen the Universal Studio show?
No.
The Universal Studio show is really fun. Like, it's really, really good. It's much livelier and much lighter in tone. But it's really, really good. And I'm a nerd. I don't know. But I enjoy it, and I'm glad that this movie came out so that that could be something. But I
Right.
think if that was, I think we talked about it before. One of the things I will say I like about this movie is the potential.
Yeah.
The potential is so good. Like,
Yeah.
this movie, there does need to be a remake. I believe there does need to be a remake of this. I know that there's been attempts, but it needs to be something that is like a little more lively. Don't take it too seriously, but make your character kind of a noble. Like, the Mariner needs to be noble. And the only reason I say that is, like, he can be weary of people.
Mm-hmm.
He can be weary of the world, but he has something that no one else does. He's seen the truth, and that could be something that kind of like guides him. Like, he can kind of help people, whatever it might be. I don't know. There's something there that could have been that never happens in this movie.
Yeah.
Nothing ever gets paid off. There's a couple, I don't want to say nothing, but there's a couple things that do. But for the most part, everything they start talking about doesn't have a payoff at all.
Right.
And it's really annoying. So the potential is at least worth saying, like, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think you said it earlier, but like the Dennis Hopper is probably the
I love
highlight.
that man.
I mean, it's
so
a little
good.
bit of what I like about this movie, a little bit of like favorite character kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like he's really the highlight of the movie.
Yeah,
he's just like
he's so odd, but like when he's on screen, that's your focus. You focus on him.
Yeah.
There's nothing that takes it away. There's a little bit of, you kind of root for him sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he's more likable.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Than the Mariner is, which is like problematic because he's
supposed to be the hero.
He is the bad guy, but like and there are some really stupid scenes, like when they get in the car and then they're driving through the ship and the like the Blues Brothers like dun 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 dun.
I wrote that in a note. I wrote that in a note that I didn't like in the Universal Studios thing. Peter Gunn is his theme when he comes through, but in that context, makes all the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world. Because Universal also had Blues Brothers. Blues Brothers is a Universal flick. So Peter Gunn had been something in the Universal property for a long time. Seeing it in the movie makes no sense at all.
Not at all.
Not a lick.
Yeah, it was so, I was like, what is happening? There was like 2 moments in this movie that I was just like, what is happening? And it was that, and when the sea monster came, I was just like, hold on, what is happening? But yeah, he was the most enjoyable character to watch.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
I think, and he was somehow the comic relief.
Yeah.
While also being the villain at the same time.
Right. Which they depended on that too much, and that was the problem. Like, it became, you kind of liked him. He was funny. He was charming. Much more charming than the hero. And then the problem is you're like, do I really want to like go against this guy? Like, he is a bad guy, but the good guy really hasn't proven much after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's just kind of fun. Yeah, totally.
Do you have a favorite character
before the character part?
Okay.
I will say another thing I liked was the score. I really do like the score.
Oh yeah,
the music for it was too it was too dramatic. It was too John Williams for its own good. Another reason I don't like Costner, we were talking about this before, but James Newton Howard was not the first composer. He came in after because it was Mark Isham's score, and apparently when Costner heard it, he said it was too ethnic and bleak, which Like,
that just makes me uncomfortable.
You could have just skipped the first part, which is really odd because like there was a lot of like Latin American pan flute kind of music going on throughout.
Well, and they speak Portuguese.
Right. So
if that's not ethnic, I don't know what is.
Right. And so I wish I could hear the original score because I was like, what we got still feels not quote unquote American. There definitely is like 90s action movie music, which I didn't know that was I really didn't think that was a trope until I heard this and went, oh yeah, this is very 90s. This is extremely 90s.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was kind of the last thing I did enjoy his music. As far as character, Deacon, he steals a show. The spy, the smoker spy, the only reason I kind of like him is because he was a really good dirtbag. Like I hated him as soon as he was on the screen, and I hated him as when he got shot. Like I hated him the whole time. There was never a point where I liked him, and I feel like that's a good job from the actor and a good job from the setup.
Yeah.
So I give credit for that. Like that was done well. Again, Enola, she's very funny. She's very cute. She's very kid. She's just a kid. Plot hole, if they would have tattooed her back when she was a baby and then at her age, nothing would be recognizable. Just saying. Her skin stretches. That means the tattoo would stretch, so they either had to make it like, I don't even know how they would have to figure that out. Something would work.
Yeah.
Gregor shouldn't have been in the movie.
It shouldn't have been in the movie. Also, he's like, he doesn't figure out the coordinates until they pull Enola up and he sees it upside down. But he also has like it drawn.
Right. So he could have done that at any time.
So he could have been like, hey, I figured it out.
In his defense, he does say, I am an idiot. Like he does in his weird accent. He does say, I just like Michael Jeter. I have a weird nostalgic thing because he's the villain in Air Bud. So I always have him in my head. So every time I see him, I go straight to that and I go like, oh, Michael Jeter. But I think the lapse of detail in him, what's the thing when a movie has something that like fixes all the problems?
Oh, the thing that fixes the problems,
or like what people are searching for, that is like the magic thing.
Oh no. All the film buffs out there are like, it's called blah 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 blah. I know.
I hear it in my head.
I can't remember what it is.
Like the Gullum, Dullum, Fullum.
I'm so frustrated at myself.
Google it. I'm not going to cut this.
I'm doing the job of my podcast. I'm looking it up.
Look it up. They call it like imagination.
Wait for it.
Google's real bad now. This is my time to crap on Google. Google sucks now.
Because they implemented the AI thing.
They're a terrible company. Anyway.
Well,
the what's a whatever. There's a thing.
Say something interesting.
there's something in movies that is this magical thing that people are looking for, or can be the thing that is the answer to whatever it is, whatever the issue is. So like in Avengers, the Tesseract. The Tesseract is that thing. It has this magical properties. Not everyone understands it, but everyone MacGuffin. Gregor is the MacGuffin in a lot of ways, because
I can't believe I forgot that.
I can't believe it either. He was a crime dog.
Ruffin McGruffin.
he he like doesn't really serve the plot at all, except to move the plot forward and make the answer happen. That's literally his only purpose. Like, he's only shown in the beginning, like it's foreshadowing that he's, is trying to figure it out, whatever it might be. But then he flies away. He's gone. The hell with him. He's gone. Bye-bye. Gone
As
forever.
If he has no control of that thing, and then later he's just like
perfectly controlling it. Yeah, going wherever he wants. And then he comes back as the savior. And then he answers the question, the map question.
Mm-hmm.
And then he saves them again, and then leads them to the actual dry land. So, like, he's an impossible character who's just there. And but I like Michael Jeter, so I don't know. Anything. Any quotes?
I think my favorite one was near the beginning when the smokers are attacking the settlement, and they're making their escape, and they harpoon the one boat with the big gun on the front, and it starts pulling towards, and Deacon is like, hey guys, what's going on over there? Yeah. Or what's that guy's name?
That part
was
like,
it's Chuck.
Really funny.
And everybody starts yelling, Chuck. And he's like, maybe he doesn't go by Chuck. Maybe it's Charles.
That one was so funny because it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb, there's nothing.
But it's so good.
Almost everything the Mariner says is stupid.
Yep.
And I say that more because Costner was very specific about what he wanted as dialogue, that eventually they hired Joss Whedon to come in and fit exactly what he wanted into the script. But, like, you listen to it, you're like, all of it's stupid. Like, nothing you say is good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anything Deacon said was probably funny.
Yeah. I liked when Enola was like, what's his face? The henchman that was like getting annoyed by her, and she's like, he's gonna come for you and he's gonna kill you, and she like talks all this like big talk about like how
she's doing like psych warfare. She's like trying to trip him up.
She's doing great, and like I just wish she was talking about somebody else other than the Kevin Costner character. Like, if she was talking about Mad Max or like somebody that we actually cared about, it'd been like, yeah, he does hide in the shadows in the sunlight or whatever.
Yeah. Like, there's a couple Deacon, well, I'll be damned, it's the gentleman guppy. He's like a turd that won't flush. And I'm like, you have toilets? How do you know what that is?
Yeah.
You could have said anything else. Like a boat that won't sink.
Yeah. There was something else. There was something that was said that I was like, I don't think they would say that, because I don't remember what it was, but there were a couple of things that was just like, that has no real life reference for them anymore. Unless the world flooded like yesterday.
Right.
There's no way they would know what that means.
Speaking of quotes, it's really fun to see that the R word did not get erased from history. Fuel, petrol, that got erased. Gasoline, gone, but the R word is still strong.
Still. Yeah.
Alrighty. And now it's time for the Review Rewind. We take a look at a positive review and a negative review, and we see where we fall. Tristan, overall, this movie was critically panned. Shocker. Critically panned. Metacritic has it at a 56%, Rotten Tomato has it at a 47%. Rotten Tomato audience score has it at a 43%. And IMDb audience score has it at a 6.3 out of 10.
One of the few times that Rotten Tomatoes critics and audience are
Agreed.
basically
They
on
never
the
agree.
same page.
Yeah. Unless it's like a Marvel movie, then they smoochy like
this,
underwater.
I am shocked by this good review.
I am shocked too. So go ahead and read it and make sure you emphasize what they gave it.
Okay, so Newsweek gave this movie, again, we're talking about Waterworld, that we have just spent the last however long saying how bad of a movie this is. They gave it a 90.
That's crazy.
90.
That's crazy.
And I'm assuming you couldn't find more from what it says, because all it says is a pretty damn good summer movie.
You know? So here's the thing. I think we're right about how convoluted it is, Kevin Costner's acting, all of that stuff. But I do think that if we were to rewind ourselves to a 1995 audience, there's a lot of this movie that would have been like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun 90s summer movie.
But just
it's not a good movie.
It's terrible. It's so bad. So the Chicago Reader gave it a 30. This movie feels like it was made by a bank rather than a person. I don't even know if I agree with that. I would say this movie feels like it was made by a guy that no one told him he was bad at his job rather than a normal person. Yeah, I'm not again, this movie sucks. It's an F. I would give it like a 58. Like I wouldn't it's not like a 0 cuz there are things I like. I do like Dennis Hopper. There are little things I like, but overall, like, I'm never going to watch this movie again. Even as like a joke, I'm never going to watch this movie again. I'm never going to show this to my kids. I'm never going to ask a friend to watch it. Like, there are sometimes there are like bad movies that are like, this is like so bad fun bad. Yeah. This isn't even that.
Yeah.
There is, like you said, it took an hour and a half for the protagonist and the antagonist to meet. There is like an hour of this movie that it just needs to be gone.
Yeah.
And it would be okay. Probably not. 45 minutes of the movie. It would lock this in at an hour and a half. Same thing. Would add the same thing.
It would be a quick movie and we wouldn't.
I think I would hate it less if it was shorter.
Yeah, it dwells too much on all the bad things.
Yeah.
We don't need to add 45 minutes. We need to take 45 minutes away.
Right. Anyway, what are you giving it?
Yeah, I gave it a D.
Okay.
I don't think it's like, I think there is probably a worse movie out there.
Well, yeah, of course there is. But there could be 2 bad movies.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, I like, it's bad. It's bad. But I don't hate it. But I'm never going to like want to think about it again.
Yeah. If I could do it, I would give Kevin Costner an F, and then I would give everyone like a D-, just so they can not be in my class again.
Yeah.
And so I need to have a meeting with you off mic, a performance review about your teaching habits, because I think your grading scale sucks.
So here, the only reason why I give it a D is because I think I'm giving I'm grading the potential of this movie.
Yeah.
Which is bumping it up.
Right. I get it. I don't disagree. I just can't find it in, like, I'm never going to really say anything good about this movie other than it should be done again. Like they need to try again, but Kevin Costner should have absolutely nothing to do with it. If it's going to be an action movie, they need to make it action. You know, Kevin Costner should have nothing to do with it. Kevin Reynolds should have nothing to do with it. The Rock should have nothing to do with it.
What if we just had George Miller write it? He's the creator of Mad Max.
I know who he is.
You just paused, and I wasn't sure.
I know, because I started thinking about it. I'm like, he nailed the sand? Can he do the water?
I don't know.
I don't know why that would.
If we want to do a water-based movie, I guess we could just have James Cameron write it, right?
Oh man, maybe that's what Avatar is. He was just like, no, it's not, because it's not. They're like, I never saw the first one. I only saw the second one.
You still haven't seen the first one?
I haven't seen the first one.
We talked about watching the first one.
I know.
I think that existed back like in the drafts of this podcast that existed before this podcast.
Yeah.
It was like, let's watch Avatar.
Yeah, I've never seen Avatar. I feel like I hear nerds yelling at me through the microphone, through my headphones, but
it's okay. You've seen Pocahontas and Ferngully, so I think you're good.
True, that is true. I have seen the second Avatar, and I did enjoy it. Whether it's good or not, that's a different story. But I did enjoy it.
Oh boy, we gotta talk about that.
I enjoyed it for the work that went into the CGI.
Okay.
Not for the plot, because
which is
probably
the only thing that is enjoyable about the first one too, is that like it's for the time it was a beautiful movie,
and the second one is gorgeous. Like, it looks amazing, but that's not what we're talking about. So
we're talking about Waterworld.
We just watched Waterworld. I gave it an F. Tristan gave it a D.
I gave it a D, but I don't disagree with the F. Like, let's be honest. Like, if we were two teachers and we graded the same paper, I'd be like, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. This podcast does promote the view that Kevin Costner sucks. I hope he hears this. He never will, so I feel like I feel pretty free saying it. God, he made this movie so bad, and I will blame him, because it seems like he had a lot of say, which is shocking. I don't understand why, other than maybe he had a deal with Universal, and part of the deal was creative control on the project. I don't know, but it seemed like he had a lot of creative control over this, and it was rough. It was bad. Anyway,
you know what we need? We need Carrie Ellis to make a parody of this movie, much like Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah, that was Mel Brooks.
Well, yeah,
that was a Mel Brooks movie, and that is on our list of movies we're gonna watch. So maybe we could say we are not gonna watch Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, because I have watched that, and it's Kevin Costner doing a British accent is just as bad.
Doing a British accent is in all of the quotes.
It's just as bad as having the stomach flu. Like, it's just as uncomfortable. It's just unpleasant.
Yeah. I have things to say, but we're wrapping up. So
we're wrapping up. So we will see you all next time. Thank you for coming in. Tristan, always a pleasure seeing you, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
And until next time, I messed it up, isn't it? Remember to review your rewinds, and we'll see you next times. I don't know why I pluralized it. I shouldn't have pluralized it. Anyway, bye, everyone.